All right, so now that we are back from our trip to Disney, I have a lot more thoughts on using this as a travel camera. This is my Fuji x100v. I will say I am not going to edit photos into this video just because I'm going to try and make this kind of a short video just talking. If you want to see all my photos, I have a ton of reels, or not reels, some TikToks up on my TikTok, Allie's Photography, containing all of the Disney photos. So those are all there if you want to go check them out. I also have them on my Instagram, not my photography one, but on my Disney one, which is Allie Ever After. So you can check them out there. But this is more just to talk through it. So the first thing, and I know people will say it gives it character, is my camera got quite a bit beat up because what I did is carried it on this strap like this and just carried it like this all day long. I do have a quarter Pro Mist filter on here because I like the kind of dreamy effect it gives the photos, but I also knew it was protecting it. So I did have that on there. I didn't have the lens cap on because honestly, I kind of felt like it might get lost or bumped off, so I didn't want to lose it. And I had the filter on. Now, I still am very careful with my stuff. However, there were times where, like, if all of a sudden you have to get put things away in a bag really quick, because there were some rides where at first I was like, oh, I think I can have this just around me, and I was like, maybe that's not a good idea, and I'd be just like putting it quickly in the top of my bag, and I would try and be careful, and like I had like my little cloth pouch and things that I could wrap it in really quickly, but I think a lot of it actually came from this strap hook that I have on here. I know they have the little things that cover here, and I'm sure that's what that's for, but I do have some marks here. You won't be able to see them as well on camera. And somehow some scratches on the top that I'm not even sure where those came from. I know it's not a big deal. I get that, but I just get annoyed because I try to take really good care of my stuff. The other thing is, and you can see some dents on the bottom here, I had it one day as I was handing stuff off. Thankfully, it was closer to the ground because this was on concrete in Magic Kingdom, and it slipped. The strap just slipped out of my hand, and it fell flat and landed flat like that, but definitely got some dents there. Thankfully, all still working. But yeah, not my favorite. So since then, I have bought a half, well actually it's a full case, but I'll probably use it more as a half case. I bought a half case that I can put on here, and then that way I know it's more protected. This one also, I made sure to buy one that opens up down here so that I can get to the battery and the memory card. Like I don't have to take the whole case off and do all that. So this just, it actually is nice because it actually helps screw this on easier if it opens up. I did make sure of that because I did not want a case where all of a sudden I have a case on there and I can't get to the battery door, I can't get to the memory card slot. So that just does that, and then it snaps shut like that. So that's what it looks like half on. And then it does have the full cover that fits all the way over. It does fit over my filter, I have done that. But otherwise, that's probably how I'll carry it. It did come with a strap with those nice little things on the side, but I like my strap. I also like straps that are easy to like clip on and off really fast if for whatever reason I need to, and that's why I like this one. So my other thing, I did actually also bring the TCL lens, which also has a filter on it as well. I really didn't use it, honestly. It was more hassle to like screw the filter on and off every time and stuff. I did take my X-T30 too. I used it occasionally, especially the first few days where the crowds were just really bad, and I just wanted more compression to kind of get detail shots of things without having to worry about all the people. I used it mostly for the parades and character shots because those are things where I have family members who are in some of that, so I was trying to get photos of them to give to them and their friends, and you need that compression to get those really, really good shots. But I also took some ones that are some of my favorite shots that I took just of one of the parades with just this. And honestly, like I love the dreamy effect that this filter gave it. I pretty much used Portra 400 version 2 the whole trip, JPEGs. At night, sometimes I would use Reggie's Portra just because the Portra 400 was a little warm. And I think my Portra 400 version 2, I adjusted the white balance to more how I liked it because I didn't like the one that it came with, but the auto white balance was not as warm as I wanted it, so I just did my own settings on that. But that's all I did, and I did JPEGs. Now that saved me so much because like throughout the day I'm just in line transferring photos, and all of a sudden I have all these photos I've got already ready. Didn't have to put them through Lightroom. Now I did also do JPEG plus RAW because I always do that. So I did save all the RAWs. I did put them all in Lightroom after the trip just so that if I ever need those RAW files for any reason, they're there. I may go through and delete the ones that I really don't like because why would I keep those? But yeah, but I liked that this was so easy to just have like on my hip, pull it up really fast and take a photo. I was able to hand it off to cast members at the photo pass spots to take our photos on this because I didn't pay for the memory maker. It's too expensive. And I didn't want to hand up, the only twice I handed off my iPhone to people because one of them I just wasn't sure, and I was like, they seemed kind of in a hurry, so I was like, here's just my phone, it's fine. And then another was a random person who offered to take our photo, and so I just handed my phone to her instead of my camera because I wasn't sure, you know, like I know it's fairly easy. There were a few cast members where I told them you could just do the touch screen, it would focus, and they were like, what? And they loved it. It was also a great conversation piece with some of them because a few of them noticed and said, where did you get that? I've been wanting one for so long. And so we talked about my Fuji stuff. So I did use this for 95% of the photos. Really, it was mostly like the parade and performer shots that I used my X-T32 for, and I really didn't use my iPhone at all. I literally had it open for the app to check wait times, and that's it. But yeah, I loved how easy this was to use. I loved the dreaminess that the filter gave the photos. I noticed obviously on days where it was overcast or just the weather was not quite as cooperative, the photos didn't quite look like what I wanted them to. I also learned obviously it was better to go in early in the mornings when no one was there yet and get a lot of clear shots of the park with no one in it. So that was really nice. That was the best photos I got. Actually, Animal Kingdom probably had some of the best photos I got. That's probably my favorite. And then the last day of Magic Kingdom, which I haven't posted that one yet. So that one's coming. But yeah, I loved this. The other thing is, I don't know other people who've used this for their photos. I don't know how they get such good close-up shots because sometimes I'm like, that seems a little close for a 35. How did you get that? I use the digital teleconverter in here. It doesn't take too much quality away from it, to be honest. I know it's digitally cropping, but the photos still look great. And that way I'm able to go, ooh, 50, ooh, 70. And then if I have that on, it goes all the way up to 100. So honestly, I don't see anything wrong with using that. It helped give me a little bit of zoom range when I didn't obviously have a zoom lens on here. So yeah, that was how I used my x100v at Disney World this past week, and I wish I could go back and just take more photos all the time. Like, I would go back there and just take photos even without writing things and doing stuff as much, just because it makes me happy. And I love trying to create those nostalgic photos that give me like the vibes from when I was there as a kid. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, you can check out my TikTok if you want to for all the reels that I've posted so far and the ones to come with photos from this camera. Again, it's Allie's Photography on TikTok. So